Now we're coming to number 13, the famous par 3, famous for giving a lot of people trouble. It's always plays longer than it says, in my opinion, pretty straight away. If you're playing the tips, it can get pretty long at 230, 240, but I'm sure today it's playing like 160. And I'm just gonna try to put a good swing on it with these forged irons and see what happens. I feel like I keep rambling about golf and then I'll touch on something personal like I'm having a baby. And I never finished what that meant for me and the channel and the content. And so after I hit this tee shot, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more. So like I said, straight away par 3, not par 4. Blue flag, it's tucked right between those two tarps back there. I don't know if you can see it, I'm not zoomed in, but I'm guessing it's I didn't even shoot this one yet, so we're gonna call it 170 to the back. Probably gonna hit a little 7-iron, and these greens aren't holding at all, they're bouncing, so 7-iron should get all the way back there if I hit it good. And they're forged, like I said. If I mishit it, goodbye hands, they're done. I'm probably gonna have to go to the hospital after and have them amputated or something, because I can't even feel them right now. They'll probably explode. But you know what? Worth it. So let's hit the shot. Well, I didn't hit that terrible. It was a 6-iron because I had with my rangefinder it said about 180, 181. So hit the 6. Felt pretty good off the club face. Kind of turned over a little bit on me, and just off the green short. So not the worst, not the best. The one thing I notice is I'm using these have the Project X rifle shafts in them. And those Titleists I had the True Temper AMT blacks in them. And I honestly think I just got a bad batch. There's no way that they should be breaking like that at the hosel every time. And so that's what ended up happening. Sent them back, and they're gonna be putting some KBS shafts in there, and I think I'm gonna be happy with those. So, like I said, I was gonna be talking about what a baby's gonna do in terms of my content. And it's gonna make me, I don't know what it's gonna make me do. This has kind of been my thought is it's either gonna up my drive significantly, or it's gonna kill my drive significantly. I say that because I really haven't been through this before. So I've read a lot that sometimes people that want to start businesses or are hungry and driven people, when they have kids, that can push them to really create and make something of themselves, because they're now responsible for another mouth, and they just get this kickstart in terms of drive. And it may have always been there, it may not have been, but regardless, it can change how you think and what you do. On the other hand, it can also kill whatever you're trying to do, because you're wanting so hard to be a good father and always be there for your kids, and sometimes that can just erase what you thought was important to you, because now you've realized that you have this family unit that you want to spend time with all the time, and you may, in that time with them, may outweigh any other passions or drives you have. So I just don't know what it's going to do to me yet. I'm kind of trying to keep my mind open and allow what happens happen. So obviously not my best try with the first putt, left myself some work, and I made it. But that's what I find out a lot of these things that I'm trying to carry over into my serious golf game is a lot of times when you're not carrying, you're just out here having a good time, you make those 5, 6, 7 footers for par or bogey or birdie, and it's like, how come I don't do that when I'm playing normally? Well, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but a lot of it is when you're out here by yourself having a good time, it's no pressure. You're just out here. If you make it, great. If you don't, great. It doesn't matter. So it's trying to carry over that kind of mentality into competitive golf that I think would benefit a lot of players. They put way too much pressure on themselves. They miss a putt, and then it's like, oh, well, here we go. I'm not gonna make anything today. And that's just simply not true. There's no reason you can't catch fire and start making everything you look at. The only thing that I would say is with a negative mindset, it makes it that much harder to accomplish. So next time you or your buddy is kind of in that mindset, just remind them, like, why can't you start making every putt you look at? Granted, they'll probably give you an excuse or a reason, but that's why they're not going to become better putters, is because they just don't believe that they can be. So that's my 2 cents. Oh, we got a little fox over there. Look at that cute little guy. I don't know if What a day to forget my zoom lens, but he's just sitting over there. You can probably make him out. Some wildlife out here pretty regularly. There he goes. Not that you guys would be too impressed with a fox. I'm sure you guys see foxes all the time. Now if there's a bear or a moose, then we're talking. I'd prefer not to run into a bear right now. Anyways, we come to the 14th, par 5. You're gonna go right up this hill, and the green's about over there. It's got some meat to her, I'd say. Usually the tips are way back tucked in there, and so this hole plays pretty beefy. Honestly, we're playing from the white, so this is a pretty gettable hole. I'm just gonna try to poke something down there and give myself a look at going for it in 2. So let's hit a tee shot. I don't know if, it's hard to say if I piped that one or not. It felt really good, and it had a little tight draw to it, and it looked like it was going, but everything feels like really heavy right now when I hit it. Might have something to do with it's 39 degrees out here. It is what it is. Ends up in a good place, and I'm gonna be able to maybe take a stab at 2, going for it in 2, I should say, and see if it works out. So another thing that I guess has happened recently is I just got back a couple weeks ago now from my Chambers Bay trip with 7 other guys, and it was awesome. I'm still going through all the content I got from there. If you're following me on Instagram or anything like that, you've probably seen a ton of Chambers Bay pictures because that place is amazing. But Gold Mountain was great, the home course was great. That whole experience that they have and they sell is maybe the stupidest deal in golf. And if you're not looking into that with your friends, you're missing out. I honestly don't want to tell people about it in a way because I feel like it's just going to become either more expensive or harder to get on. And I'm already thinking about signing up for next year like ASAP because it was such a great time with most of the guys I went to Wisconsin with not too long ago. I'm hoping to put together some content with that. Went down there a day early and got to meet up with the guys from Cutter and Buck. As you can see, rocking some stuff right now. They've been awesome to work with. I'm not an influencer, I'm none of that kind of stuff on the internet, but they like something I did for them, and we've kind of formed this relationship where we can work together. You know, I create some content for them, and it's been just like the best relationship I can think of. And, you know, I really look forward to seeing where that goes. We got to meet the guys from True Linkswear while we were down there as well. I mean, just a couple of great Seattle companies there that were welcoming to complete strangers that were just down there to play some golf. So if you haven't checked both of them out, I'm telling you to check out 2 brands that have been killing it for years, so I'm sure you already have. Anyways, having trouble locating, oh, I really got a hold of that tee shot. Very surprising because it didn't quite feel like it. Anyways, looking to have, they took down all the yardage markers and stuff already. That's when you know it's kind of shutting down. Probably got about 230 up there. I'm gonna hit something and try to get up near the green. I don't know if I hit that thin or what, but that came off like a freaking GM Golf Stinger right there. And it might work out. I probably had 230 and I was like, I'm gonna hit 3 wood here, I'm cold. And it just came off like a bullet. I don't know if that was because of bad contact or what, but it's gonna work out. But anyways, what I was saying about Chambers Bay is get on that trip if you haven't already. You're gonna play some great courses, and it's just, it was one of those things where I realized that's what I wanna be doing more, just like every other golfer. I shouldn't say that. I wanna go places and create content at courses, or kind of, I want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Curate trips for guys to go on. And I know there's people kind of doing that, but I have some ideas that I want to do that I think would be great. And I'm kind of looking to kind of get that started. Now that I've been on a few of these buddies trips, I think people would appreciate me putting together the trip for them, showcasing them what they need to do, where they can stay, where to play, all that stuff. So, oh baby, I'm on in 2. I look pin high. I just walked up a hill and I'm breathing like crazy. Sorry, I'm so out of shape. I'll get better. So as you can see, I'm looking at, we'll call it 17 feet. And I've got an eagle putt here. I'm not really sure which way this is gonna break on this grass right now. I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna do a little spray and pray and hope it goes in. Well, that one kind of hurts. I feel like that was very makeable. Just didn't play enough break on it. And that's the only par 5 out here that I haven't eagled this year, I think. So, kind of a bummer. Eagled 6, eagled 9, eagled 17 for the first time this year, which I think is a way harder hole than this. I've just never been able to make that putt. I have to wait till next year. So I'm trying to think what else has been going on. Life's just been crazy, and I think we can all relate to that, especially if you're a diehard golfer during the summer. It's like, you get out, you golf as much as you can, and then next thing you know, it's fall. There's a bunch of chores you didn't do yet and you gotta take care of. I just raked all the leaves off the yard today. I've been trying to clear out the garage. If you've had a kid, you know there's so many things that you gotta get done, and I feel like I did a good job today. So I rewarded myself with a little golf, and I'm gonna go home. My wife's gonna be fixing some wings tonight, and we're gonna watch some football because it's a Sunday, and life's good, can't complain. So now we're walking up to the 15th tee box. It's another short par 4, not too difficult. I usually hit driver here, just why not? And anytime I try to take a shorter club, I usually get myself in trouble. So it's one of those go big or go home situations. I think now with that easy birdie, I think I'm 1 under. But like I said, I'm playing white, so not the hardest challenge right now, even though the conditions are a little tougher. Let me show you this hole real quick. You get to see a nice little mountain back there with some snow on it. Yep, you can see the green is just right up there. They're putting on it right now. Looks like a blue flag from, oh, right there. It's a blue flag, and the problem with this one is there's a little valley short right. And so when the pin's back over there, you're gonna have to fly it all the way to the green. You can't bounce it up, anything like that. And so a lot of times it's nice to have a little wedge or a full iron, really, because you don't want to try to get cute and come up short. So that's why I'm hitting driver. So I actually pumped that one pretty good. Nice little draw down the center right hand side. It's gonna work out well. One thing I've been battling is really trying to come through the ball a little softer right now, because I got a real bad case of tennis elbow. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. I had to double check WebMD that I didn't have golfer's elbow, which is similar but on the opposite side of the elbow. So it's pain on the top part of my elbow that makes it very hard, makes it very painful to swing. And so I kind of got a bad case of it when I was down at Chambers Bay. And the last round I played in, I was popping 4 leaves to try to maintain the pain. And the first tee shot, I'll try to put a recording of that because it's embarrassing. I was trying to play super careful with my elbow, and I looked like I was 80 years old when I swung on that first tee, and my buddies were giving me a hard time, but still shot 75 on a course I never played before, and was super thrilled with how I was able to get around, even with making some stupid mistakes. So even though the elbow is sore right now and it hurts when I hit every time, I just feel like it almost kind of keeps me under control and I don't go after stuff way too hard. I'm looking forward to a little rehab on that over the next couple weeks, even though the Winter Sim League starts in like 2 weeks. So I may be putting the clubs away after today and really working on some rehab, some ice, and some biofreeze and all this stuff to try to get that a little healthier before I'm playing every week again. Look like I'm in a pretty good spot, probably about 60, 70 yards. Like I was saying, there's a little valley right down here that you can't really see from this angle that it's not very good to be in. So I'm going to try to fly it all the way there. Hopefully land it right on the front and let it roll back to where the pin is in the back. Because again, it's 39 degrees out and the greens are not super receptive right now. So that's what you kind of call a scared swing, where there's trouble short right, and I just bailed out to the left a little bit. Still hit the green, which I should from that distance, but I didn't give myself like the best look at birdie. And that happens when you think too much about the downsides of the swing or the shot. So I'm gonna have to make kind of a meaty putt here. I could go for another birdie, 2 in a row. Why not? See, that's the mentality you gotta have, is why not? Instead of thinking, I made one, it's unlikely I'll make 2 in a row. You gotta turn it up in the sense that you gotta think you can catch fire. Like that old game NBA Jam, you know? You start making stuff and you catch fire. I'm not the only one to remember that. That game was fire. So, anyways, I really do not know how this video is gonna turn out. I'm shooting this on my real camera, and the last one I did was on my phone. Didn't really love the quality, so I said, hey, I'm gonna bring out my camera. There's a lot of like editing that I'll need to do. Forgive me if this sucks, but I had to try it out. So let's make this putt. Well, wasn't gonna leave that one short. It's kind of getting tired of that, so let's see if we can make the comebacker. See, it's times like that when you get yourself all jacked up that you're gonna catch fire, you just made a birdie, you're gonna make another one, and then you 3-putt for bogey. So that happens, and it's part of golf, and I just accept it. And there's nothing stopping me from birdieing the next hole. But there's also nothing stopping me from shanking one into the trees, so that's always there. So let's see what happens.